Yup, there we all diddling out there. Anyway, welcome to another video. Right, my name's Ron, and this is Ron's 12 inches. Like I say, introductions, been collecting music for about 45 years on and off. Got loads of bits around me, just reviewing a few bits as I go along. Been spinning a few over the weekend. Just a couple of CDs really, bit of Star Sailor, and I had, let's turn that up for a minute, and I had the artist. I'm going to, on the turntable a little bit earlier, and I'm going to be reviewing him in a minute. But this lot of channel's all about your music and your CDs, your vinyl, and what we got down here. Well, there's your 12 inch vinyl, all in your plastic sleeves to keep them nice and clean. If you're not too fussy about that, there's your 10 inch, does the same job. This one's an actual, like, it's got a promotion for sale, not for sale on the back of it. And if you're not too fussy, there's your 7 inch in your protective sleeve again, comes out. Nice little tune that, it's called, it's by Trio, it's called Da 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 Da, and if you've not heard it, it's a right catchy little number. It come out in 1982. That's a right good little tune to pick up there. Put it on your Spotify or your iPod or whatever. Right, the person I'm going to talk about is in a band, was in a band, unfortunately passed away 2020, July 2020. So I'm going to, he's wrote plenty of good songs, and he was in a band for about 3 or 4 years, and then he left the band, and then he done a bits of solo on his like, obviously on his own. Wasn't really too successful. Anyway, who is this guy? Right, he's Jewish. He was born in 1946 in Bethnal Green. He's Jewish family. And he is the founder member with the band that I'm going to be, he joined up with two or three people before when he was releasing his first bits of music. His music involved Black Magic Woman, he wrote Albatross, Oh Well, what else? Man of the World, he wrote Man of the World. I think that is just an absolutely brilliant tune, and I think Oh Well is probably the band's best song, apart from this next one, which is called The Green Manalishi. Right, The Green Manalishi, so you must know who the band is now. The band is Fleetwood Mac, and there's The Green Manalishi. Look, they've just come out last year to commemorate the passing of Peter Green. So it's Mick Fleetwood and friends celebrate the music of Peter Green in the early years of Fleetwood Mac, because he was only there for about, I think it was 67 till about 70, and then he left. He had a few issues, but this is just fantastic, this song. If you've never heard of this song, go and get this. This is just absolutely brilliant. I've not got the early copy because I was only 8 when that was released, so that came out in 1970, and it went to about number 10 in the charts. All these songs, unbelievably enough, Peter Green, that he wrote for Fleetwood Mac, they never ever released them for like a single. I don't know what all that was about. I know the first 2 albums were a bit pony anyway, but it was all right, you know what I mean, but they weren't for me. And then Play On was a good album, that had Oh Well on it, but it only had part 1. Well, Oh Well, if you know like Fleetwood Mac, Oh Well is in part 1 and part 2. Well, the only bit of Oh Well that had part 2 on was an American, I think it was on a CBS label released. They had it, but it was in, you try and get it now, it's very hard to get in decent condition. You may be able to get it, but it probably, it's all like crackling and popping all over the place. It's probably not worth having it. Anyway, so Peter Green is the guitarist. He's rated off, I don't like Rolling Stone, you know what I mean. Rolling Stone, they do, it's a magazine. I think something Flick was the editor or whatever he is. I don't like their top 100s and top whatever. It's all 1960s and 70s oriented, but it's all like Bob Dylan and the Beatles. Don't get me wrong, they've got great records out, but it's just the whole top 20 is just made up of all them people. It's never moved, and it's like 50, 60 years since that some of them albums come out. And you're telling me that all them albums come out, they can't break into the top 10. I think Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Heart Club's been #1 forever. Now it's a good album, but give some other artists a chance. Jesus Christ. Right, right. So he's a founder member with Mick Fleetwood, and I think John McVie was on this track. I think Danny Kerwin was supposed to be on it, but I don't think he actually was there when they actually done the recording session. Yeah, the other, I can't remember the other person who was on it. I know John McVie was on there. Jeremy Spencer was the other one. He was the other guitarist, but they had a lot of guitarists on there. They had like 3 or 4 guitarists on there, so it was very guitar orientated, and drums. You know what I mean? Heavy on the drums. Like, what do you call it? Peter Green was very bluesy, but he weren't all about speed. Peter Green, he was all about, he used to like bend the strings and like all vibrato and all that. He was just an absolutely phenomenal guitarist. If you've never heard him, if you've heard of Clapton, well, I'll tell you what, I think he knocks Clapton straight out of the park. I think Peter Green is one of the best guitarists you'll ever listen to. I'm more of a drummer person myself. Well, I've said in other videos, I like me guitars, but I don't like them banging around, you know what I mean, clank like going right over the top, because I just think it takes away from the music. But this Manalishi is just an absolutely epic song. Seriously, I just think, don't forget Peter Green had problems with LSD and all that, and I think this song's all about him. He had some sort of drug-induced dream or something about a green dog barking at him or something, and yeah, he's a bit weird, but he had a lot of problems. Peter Green, he was diagnosed with schizophrenia, I think, in the later years. So he wasn't a very well man. But then again, all them like hippie type people and taking that Colombian marching powder and all that and sticking that gear up your rooter don't do you any favours, I don't suppose, in later life. Right, so. Released in 1970, went to about number 10 in the charts. It's all about your guitars in this song. There's plenty of guitaring going on, but it's just an epic tune. You know what I mean? From the start to the finish, it builds up, and like it's just an absolutely quality piece of music. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put, because the first side is a performance done with loads of other artists to commemorate Peter Green, but the B side is the Green Manalishi with a 2-pronged crown, and is also a live version. What I'm going to do, I'm going to play them two on a separate video, because I don't want to get on any of their copyrights again. Every time I play a bit of music, copyright comes into the video, and like that's it. Bob's your uncle, your fanny's your aunt, and you got a copyright against your name. So what I don't mind getting the copyright for playing the music solely just like for you to listen to. I'm going to put it out on a nice bit of kit, so it'll be worth listening to, and I'll press that tomorrow, because I can't go too loud now, because it's 5 o'clock in the morning. Missus is still in bed, she don't get up, and I don't know whether I'm shooting late at night or early in the morning. It's still dark, no snow though, so that's one thing. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to be reviewing. I played that today a couple of times, and I just think it's just a different class tune. It's just a sad loss that he's I don't know. Some of these people, they think they're immortal when they're younger. You know what I mean? Sticking all this gear up their bazooka, but in the end, it just comes back and bites you on the backside, because your body just can't deal with it. And I think it was all this LSD, all these people, especially all these like this hippie scene. You know what I mean? That's all they seem to do. It was just I don't know. It was just a weird thing to be in, but anyway, horses for courses. Everyone's got their own cup of tea, as they say, or whatever. So yeah, so that's about it. Other than that, I hope you've had a good weekend. I'll be reviewing a couple of other albums. Anyone wants to hear anything, anyway, a big thank you for the new subscribers. I've only had a few, but it all helps, you know what I mean? I'm just starting out. Gives me something to do, and probably rattling on about a load of old BS, but you know what I mean, I like my music. I've always liked my music. I think it's the greatest thing ever invented. music's just, you know what I mean, it makes everyone happy. You can't be down when you're listening to a piece of music. You get your music on and it just takes you back. It takes you to places you want to take you want to be taken to. You know what I mean? You're listening to stuff from when you was growing up. It's going to take you back then. So you're listening to stuff when you're on holidays. It's great. You know what I mean? You can recall where that song was played when you first heard it. You know what I mean? You might have heard it at a wedding or a Russell Harty or you know what I mean, or an holiday or something like that, or I don't know, even a funeral. You know what I mean? Sometimes you might hear an half decent song at a funeral. But yeah, like I say, it's the greatest thing. You can get yourself a nice bit of kit. You can probably get yourself an half decent bit of kit for vinyl. I don't know, 500-600 quid. This setup I've got here has taken me about 3 years to get hold of. I started off a little bit lower on the turntable and the amp and the speakers, and I just gradually built up. So anyway, that's me done. So what I'll do is I'll spin that, I'll play that later, and I'll just play it as a video, and then you can take a listen to it and let me know, give me some feedback, you know what I mean, some comments, be a bit positive if you can, you know what I mean. I don't mind the negative feedbacks. A bit of positivity makes me come back and do another video. Like I say, I've got a few guys that are commenting, they're like coming backwards and forwards, and it's really nice to like get a bit of banter going, you know what I mean, talking about different things. And that's about it really. So thanks for listening, thanks for viewing again, and hopefully I'll see you in a couple of days, or well, I'm going to shoot this tomorrow and a couple of others, because I want to put out the there's a couple of other tunes that I did the other day, but I haven't had time to put them out. Another guy's going to tell me how to link them all in, so you just press a link on the top. I can't remember the other out, I can't remember the last thingy, but Supertramp, yeah, it was a Supertramp. We're going to put School and Hiding Your Shell out. Oh no, Crime of the Century. So yeah, anyway, that's me done. Take it easy, all the best, look after yourself, be lucky, and see you on the other side. Take it easy. Cheers.